Energy Lab. Today I want to talk about electric vehicles, and specifically I want to look at the range of the electric vehicles. The range of electric vehicles is still a major concern for potential customers, and looking at these vehicles that I'll share now in a minute with you, I knew that the range is very different from vehicle to vehicle, but I'm still surprised about the big differences. So without further ado, let's get right into it. What I want to start off with is that we look at the range of 26 different electric vehicles on 3 different routes. So to visualize basically how far on these routes their respective vehicles would get to. So the first route is from San Francisco to Los Angeles. The distance is 382 miles or 615 kilometers. The second one is Boston to Washington. The distance is 439 miles or 707 kilometers. And the third one is in Europe. It's from Amsterdam to Berlin, and the distance is 408 miles, so round about 656 kilometers. And the vehicle with the shortest range is the Fiat 50e. It stops already after 84 miles or 135 kilometers. Frankly, I can appreciate if people have range anxiety if the vehicle just barely gets above 100 kilometers or not even 100 miles. The next vehicle that would stop would be the Mini Cooper SE. It has a range of 110 miles, 177 kilometers. The next one is the Nissan Leaf, 149 miles, 240 kilometers. Next is the Bmw I3, 153 miles, 246 kilometers. What you do see with the vehicles that I've mentioned so far is that they are smaller types of vehicles. So the space for batteries is smaller, and I believe that's part of the reason why the range that they can achieve with their battery is smaller. Next is the Hyundai Ioniq electric, 170 miles, 274 kilometers. Now one of the big hitters is coming, or at least in terms of costs of purchasing, the Porsche Taycan Turbo S, 192 miles, 309 kilometers. We're staying with the same manufacturer, Porsche Taycan Turbo, 201 miles, 323 kilometers. Next is another Porsche, the Porsche Taycan 4S Performance Battery Plus with 203 miles, 327 kilometers. The vehicles that we looked at so far didn't manage or barely managed to reach half of the distance of these 3 routes that we're looking at, which, as indicated, I find a little bit concerning in terms of range anxiety, and especially if you look at how far some of the other competitors are getting. Next is the Audi E-Tron with 204 miles, 328 kilometers. Next is the Nissan Leaf E Plus SV SL, 215 miles, 346 kilometers. Audi E-Tron Sportback, 218 miles, 351 kilometers. Nissan Leaf E Plus S, 226 miles, 364 kilometers. Next comes a manufacturer that surprised me a little bit. It's a Jaguar. It's a Jaguar I-Pack, 234 miles, 377 kilometers. Next is the Kia Niro EV, 239 miles, 385 kilometers. And now the first Tesla, the worst performing Tesla, is coming, which is performing considerably better than a lot of the other manufacturers. It's the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus, 250 miles, 402 kilometers. Slightly better than the worst performing Tesla is the Hyundai Kona electric, 258 miles, 415 kilometers. I'm super impressed actually with the Chevy Bolt Ev. In my overview, it comes in at the 10th place. Chevy Bolt Ev, 259 miles, 417 kilometers. In 9th place comes the Polestar 2 with 275 miles, 443 kilometers. So this is where we are at place 9, and now we're looking at the last 9 best performing cars. And this was the shocking moment for me. It's all Teslas. I mean, they are doing so dramatically better than some of the legacy car manufacturers. It's just insane to me. In 8th place is the Tesla Model Y Performance with 291 miles or 468 kilometers. 7th place is the Tesla Model 3 LR Performance with 299 miles or 481 kilometers. Next is the Tesla Model X Performance with 305 miles or 491 kilometers. In 5th place is the Model Y Long Range with 316 miles or 509 kilometers. In 4th place is the Tesla Model 3 Long Range with 322 miles or 518 kilometers. And now the top 3 places. Number 3, Tesla Model S Performance with 348 miles or 560 kilometers. Number 2, Tesla Model X Long Range Plus with 351 miles or 565 kilometers. And now please a drum roll for the Tesla Model S Long Range Plus with 402 miles, 647 kilometers. So here now I'll show you an overview of all the performance of the vehicles that I've looked at and their ranking, how far they managed to go with one fully charged battery in miles and in kilometers, their purchasing price, and to be fair also then the cost per mile, respectively the cost per kilometer. To be fair to the manufacturers, I also want to look at the cost per mile. So looking at the purchase price of the vehicle and how far they get with one fully charged battery. So top ranged EV by cost per mile or kilometer is actually the Chevy Bolt EV. I think that's a bit of a surprise to me, but impressive performance. So the Chevy Bolt EV costs $141 per mile. Second in that category is the Hyundai Kona electric, and only third is the Tesla Model 3 long range. I'll just quickly flip through those slides now. If you want to have a closer look at the ranking, you can pause the video and look at the details. I just want to mention something on the worst performers on the cost per kilometer or mile, and all 3 of them are the Porsche, which shows how expensive they are in purchasing and that they're still not very competitive in the range. In an industry where innovation and efficiency is vital, Tesla's first mover advantage is evident. From the more affordable Model 3 to the more luxurious Model S, all the top 8 ranked cars are Teslas. At 402 miles, the range of the number 1 vehicle got 127 miles more per charge than the top non-Tesla vehicle, the Polestar 2, an EV made by Volvo standalone performance brand. So we have seen that Tesla is by far the most dominant manufacturer producing electric vehicles that have a successful or a large range. It's much more competitive if you look at the cost per kilometer or mile. But if we go back and look at just the range, why is Tesla so successful and so dominant? And I think there are 3 main reasons. First of all, it has superior battery technology. Secondly, it operates in the car manufacturing industry more like a software manufacturer, and that has significant implications. And thirdly, it takes more risks. So for more than a decade, Tesla has been designing battery-powered vehicle from the ground up and using software to make the batteries more efficient. It has scrapped a lot of features of traditional luxury vehicles in favor of reducing the weight It has implemented also new designs to improve the aerodynamics, taken measures such as ditching multi-gear transmission in favor of dual motors programmed to send varying power ratios to the front and rear wheels. Car industry experts also say the company has taken more risks than traditional car manufacturers, making batteries ever denser and out of different materials than other competitors. Michael Ramsey, an industry expert and specialist in the evolution of the car industry, says, "My belief is that Tesla is more willing to risk their battery not lasting 8 to 10 years and just dealing with the consequences on the back end." He goes on, "Part of their success is related to their willingness to go way past what the industry would normally do." Tesla also uses a different battery chemistry than other manufacturers. They're using aluminum in addition to standard nickel cobalt. The battery researchers say that that choice has led to maximum range because of a higher capacity battery chemistry. Downside include a higher fire risk and shorter cycle life or lifespan over hundreds of charges. As indicated at the beginning of the video, I was really surprised how big of an advantage Tesla has compared to other manufacturers in terms of range. So some of the manufacturers I find almost ridiculous in terms of how short their range is, because clearly that causes range anxiety if you can barely get above 100 kilometers or less than 100 miles. But I think what is more interesting is how fast this industry is evolving right now. Also, the market capitalization of Tesla, which is now above 700 billion US dollars, is much larger than if you're combining a lot of the other car manufacturers. It just shows you the transition of this industry is happening faster than experts expected. Currently, of the vehicles sold worldwide, only 2.7% are electric vehicles. By 2040, it is expected that 58% of the vehicles will be electric vehicles of all vehicles sold. So there is going to be a massive move towards electric vehicle, which is super exciting for me. Also in the news, it has been going on for years now that the rumors that Apple might move into the electric vehicle market is exciting. I would love to see what they come up with and how they are pushing innovation. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Making the video was certainly enlightening for me, and I find this industry very interesting and all these changes that are happening. See you next week. Bye. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press the like button and subscribe to Energy Lab. Bye.